Welcome back to the channel where we analyze deals, review some of the properties that we close on, and of course give you the tips and tricks when buying real estate in Boise, Idaho. Today we're going to cover 4 main reasons why a lot of people are coming over to Idaho. Just this past year I closed over 12 homes. In those 12 homes, 5 of those were relocation from different states. And I'm going to break down some of these within 4 different main categories why a lot of people are still investing, buying, and moving to the state of Idaho. Over the past 3 years in Treasure Valley alone, 20 to 30,000 people are moving here into the Treasure Valley. Of course, there's a lot of advantages why people are moving to Idaho, some of which actually are the same reasons why I moved back to Idaho myself. I'm from and born in Idaho. I've lived in California for 6 years, but some of the same reasons why I moved back are still current today, why people are still moving here. Those 3 main things are going to be the lifestyle, choices of living here, slower pace of life. You have better room and space for outdoor recreational area. Right out your back door, there's a lot less traffic. So access to public land is huge. 63% of Idaho is actually consumed of wilderness forest, where in general, nationwide, only 23% of the US nation actually owns public land for themselves. So Idaho, 63%, that's a pretty good number to have access for recreational use. Cost of living, of course, substantially a lot lower for the amount of value that you get in your house while you get here in the Treasure Valley. As far as tax advantages go, Idaho is consistently ranked one of the lowest states for property tax or taxes in general. Idaho doesn't have inheritance tax. For small businesses, you don't have inventory tax. And third, intangible personal property tax. Those charges are out the door. You don't have that in Idaho. For business owners, family, and investors, those simplicity matter the most. The property that we're going to review today in Meridian is also from California buyers, and we just are about to close on this property. Their tax alone is going to be around $1,300 a year for this property. In California, their current property that they're going to sell, their taxes each year is over $8,000 per year. That's a huge advantage. For the same amount of square footage for even a newer home here in Idaho, their property tax is only going to be around $1,200. That's a huge difference. Again, those 4 main advantages is going to be tax advantages that you're going to have, lower cost of living, lifestyle changes that are a huge upgrade in your life, and strong investment opportunities. Those are going to be huge factors when people are determining whether to buy an investment property or move to Idaho. That for sure has made the difference for a lot of my buyers that have just closed this year alone as well as last year. When touching on the lifestyle, you're going to see a lot of people are a lot friendlier in the state of Idaho. It's a slower pace of life here, not like the hustle and bustle of California, which I have actually experienced when I was living there over a handful of years ago. I've been in Idaho now for over 15 years. People are a lot nicer here. There's a lot less road rage, better traffic, and of course, the overall view of the mountains, scenic, and just the open space alone is huge. You're not feel congested like you do in a lot of the bigger states. And again, with the amount of value you get for the dollar, whether it's in your home or lifestyle, it stretches a lot further, which adds to the people's overall health and well-being. So Idaho is no hidden gem. Of course, the investment opportunities here are still in abundance. For overall growth rate, depending on which community and territory you're actually going to be in, you're looking at close to around 14% overall, just alone in property value and increase in appreciation value. Rental rates. Rental rates also add to the investment opportunity. We're having a lot bigger companies moving here, and it's making rental rates strong and holding substantially year over year. We're here in Meridian at the property that my buyers are currently pending on that we're going to be closing on in a couple weeks. I have a list of all the items that we wanted to address and make sure they were taken care of before our final walkthrough. The selling side did take care of them. We're going to go through and just double check and make sure everything on the list is up to our standard, do my due diligence for my buyers before they invest the plane tickets to come down and we actually do our walkthrough and we very well could walk into a disaster. One of the things, the electrical outlets, there was kind of a lot of reverse outlets. I wanted to make sure that the positive and negative were grounded properly and making sure that our electrical outlets were correct, which that one is. Also, there wasn't enough smoke detectors in the property, so we needed to make sure that was up to code. One of on the inspection report, of course, was that there wasn't enough, and we needed to get those installs. So we'll go through and check and make sure that there's a right number of smoke detectors that we had on this. check the water pressure, make sure that's good. And then of course there was a stove connection here. Make sure that's was dialed and ready to go and connected on top of that. Big reason why my buyers chose this area centrally in Boise. Year over year, over the past 3 years, the increase in value of the property ended up being anywhere from around 10 to 14% of appreciation value in certain neighborhoods here. So I knew that this was going to be a great investment for them long term. Another good reason why my buyers ended up choosing this area, you have really good space, good backyard here, safe neighborhood, and very quiet. A lot less compared to what they were doing in California, where it was just real cookie cutter, a lot of traffic, a lot of noise. They hated it, and the value of the dollar, of course, went a lot further here, buying a newer home that's fully remodeled in a nicer neighborhood that ended up being such a great opportunity for them for peace of life, peace of living, that's peace of mind for them, and of course, kind of enjoy the easy, slower pace of Idaho. Another cool feature about this home, the previous owners were actually realtors. So it was in an LLC. They ended up holding this property as a rental, and then they did a remodel on the property. So now that we've looked at it, you can see newer carpet, newer paint, pretty updated. I knew that those sellers had to end up doing a 1031 exchange and had to identify a property that they were going to buy within a certain amount of period, where I knew that where my buyers came in with a pretty good offer that would close pretty quickly, that they would want to take this offer compared to most. Great strategy that we ended up using was we did come in on a cash offer. It was below list price, but we did offer it with a quick close. Quick close, of course, allows them to be more liquid, to have cash on hand for them to roll it over into the next investment property. So I knew with my buyer strategy of doing a closing early was going to be a really good offer that they may entertain. And of course, it ended up working out in our favor. Well, everything checks out. Looks good on my end. We'll do our final walkthrough with my buyers. I'll give them a call, let them know, hey, book your plane tickets, come down. We got our final walkthrough next week, and we'll get one last look of it before closing on the dotted lines. Again, just to recap, 4 main advantages why people are choosing the Treasure Valley. Tax advantages is number one, whether it's taxes on a home, property like this, whether it's yearly taxes they have, overall cost and affordability in the Treasure Valley is huge. Lower utility costs, lower billing costs, lower power, water, you name it. It's a lot lower than most states. And then of course your lifestyle. You have a little bit easier pace of life around here. It's a little bit slower, it's nice. You get to enjoy the recreational area, the outdoors, it's safe. And of course, you're surrounded by just beautiful mountains and scenic country where your dollar is stretched out a lot further in this state. And of course, strong investment opportunities. I know with confidence that this property is going to appreciate as it has been over the course of the last 3-4 years, and it will continue to grow. My buyers here are going to be super stoked on this investment property that they're going to have, whether they turn around and sell it in a couple of years and make profit, or keep it in a rental portfolio or turn it into investment property, again, taking advantage of all the tax advantages you get for owning real estate here in Boise, Treasure Valley. My name's Will Myers, real estate advisor and investor here in the Treasure Valley. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me directly. And don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and I will see you on the next real estate deal.